You know, every time Ford announces a new F-150, it's like a holiday for truck lovers. Seriously, whether you're into daily driving, towing, hauling, or just appreciating good engineering, the F-150 always brings something new to the table. And now, the upcoming 2026 Ford F-150 is getting people excited all over again. So today, let's talk about what's coming, what's changing, and why this new model might just be one of the most well-rounded F-150s we've seen in years. The first thing that grabs you is the design. Ford didn't reinvent the whole look, but they've definitely sharpened things up. The front end looks bolder with refined LED lighting, a more aggressive grille, and those tough body lines that make the F-150 instantly recognizable even from far away. It's the kind of design refresh that feels familiar, but new enough to make you turn your head. And depending on the trim you go for, you'll notice slightly different personalities. Some look more rugged, some look more premium, but they all feel more modern. Now, one of the most talked about updates is the engine lineup, especially the hybrid setup. Ford has been pushing hybrid tech in trucks for a while, and for 2026, the hybrid option feels more refined and more capable. It's not just about saving fuel, though that's always a nice bonus. It's about getting smoother torque, better low-end response, and a power delivery that just feels stronger for towing or off-road situations. And if you're someone who's been skeptical about hybrids in trucks, this one might change your mind because Ford seems to understand truck owners want power first, efficiency second, and they've balanced that really well. Speaking of off-road capability, the 2026 F-150 continues to expand options for people who love taking their truck off the pavement. You've still got the popular off-road packages, but now with improved traction systems, more intelligent drive modes, and suspension. Tweaks that help the truck feel planted even on rough terrain. Ford knows how much people love exploring, whether it's trails, camping, dunes, or just beating city potholes, and this new setup feels like it's built for real use, not just for marketing. And honestly, with the hybrid delivering that extra low-end push, off-roading might actually feel even more fun than before. Inside the truck is where many people will feel the biggest jump from previous models. Ford really leaned into making the interior feel more like a modern living space than just a work truck. The screens are bigger and more responsive, the materials feel more upscale even in the lower trims, and the cabin layout just makes more sense. You get more storage, cleaner lines, and a tech experience that doesn't overwhelm you but still feels futuristic. This is the kind of interior that makes long drives feel easier, and for people who use their truck as a mobile office, the improvements are going to make a noticeable difference. Another quiet but important upgrade is the noise insulation. Every year, Ford somehow makes the F-150 feel more refined on the road, and the 2026 model seems to continue that trend. Less wind noise, better ride quality, and smoother acceleration make it feel more like a luxury truck even if you're not buying the highest trim. One thing people always ask about is pricing. The 2026 F-150 is expected to follow the usual trend, the base models staying relatively accessible, while the higher trims with more features and hybrid tech will naturally climb higher. Ford hasn't thrown out anything shocking here. It still lines up with what we're used to in the F-150 world. Basically, if you've looked at prices from the last year or two, you already have a good idea where this is going to land. And of course, we've got to talk about how it compares to past models. The F-150 has evolved so consistently that every new generation feels like a natural step forward. What makes the 2026 model stand out is how many small improvements come together to make it feel like a smarter and more capable truck. It's not a radical redesign. It's more like Ford took everything people loved about the previous model and just polished it. Stronger hybrid performance, sharper looks, better tech, nicer interior, and improved off-road potential all blend into something that feels familiar, but definitely upgraded. If you've been driving an F-150 from a few years back, you're going to notice the difference immediately. And if you're coming from a much older model, this is going to feel like stepping into the future without losing that classic F-150 identity. That's something Ford has learned to balance really well over the years, giving you new features without making the truck feel unfamiliar. Overall, the 2026 Ford F-150 looks like one of those trucks that's going to appeal to almost everyone: workers, families, off-roaders, and daily drivers. It's modern but tough, efficient but powerful, and refined without losing its utility. Ford knows the F-150 is the backbone of their lineup, and you can tell they've treated this model with a lot of attention. So if you're someone who's been waiting for the next big step from Ford, the 2026 F-150 might be exactly the upgrade you were hoping for. And as soon as more details start rolling out and the truck gets closer to hitting showrooms, you can bet we'll be diving even deeper into everything this model has to offer. Until then, let me know what you think so far. Does the hybrid direction excite you, or are you sticking with traditional power? Do you like the new design tweaks, or do you prefer the older look? I'd love to hear your take. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.